Hey everyone, this is Julie with Craft with Julie, and it is time for another Makers with Heart mystery envelope challenge. This is one of the funnest videos I get to do all month, and I hope you guys enjoy them as well as I do. We are all sent the same items in an envelope, and this month Jessica sent us these little goodies along with some instructions, and she basically wants us to go by the old rules of that brides use of something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. And we can interpret that any way we want. And at first when I read this, I was like, oh, this is going to be hard. But once I kind of looked into it and found some ideas that I wanted to try, I'm so excited for this one. So we don't have to use these little elements that she sent us if we don't want to. She just didn't want to send us a blank envelope. And I'm actually going to be using the Slimline card base, and I believe I'm going to use this thin cut as well for my sentiment on my card. So I'm excited for this one. So let's get started. So Jessica included a Slimline card base in her mystery envelope, even though we don't have to use it. It made me think of this idea book right here, this brand new Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. It's came out a few months ago, so I guess it could count as my something new. But this book includes a few Slimline ideas for cards. Let me grab it. So there's a couple ideas. So I chose this one right here to create. So this is pattern 31, and I thought this was so cute, especially I can use some of the circles or other designs that she threw in there, even though we don't have to. So that is what I'm basing my card on today. So I'm going to take some craft paper, and I'm actually going to random stamp. So that's going to be my something old, is random stamping on this piece of craft paper, and I'm going to be doing it in Espresso Ink. And let me grab the stamps that I'm using today. Is our November stamp of the month, which is Thanks a Bunch, so that could count as something new as well, and it's only available during the month of November. And I saw this idea online. So this is my borrowed. So here's an example of what I'll be doing. So Jen Rubio, who is amazing, had this example of a card on her Instagram, and I'll see if I can link it for you. But she just stamped the different images and then colored them in. So that's the look I'm going for. But the technique I'm using is going to be random stamping. So there's my old random stamping. It's been around for a long time. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the heart. And random stamping is pretty simple. You want to kind of keep everything in a triangle. And you can even turn your stamps like upside down, so they're all going in different directions. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it helps you space your different elements and gives you kind of a random look. And you can create custom backgrounds, all kinds of things. So you can see even over here, there's a little triangle. So it's random, but it's not so random. So I'm going to take my second, that was not it, a leaf pattern, and I'm going to fill in between. So doing the same thing, I'm just going to move this around. So this one to be a little more careful with. So here is my triangle pattern right there, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish this pattern out. So I purposely left this little section right here kind of blank because I'm going to be bringing in a strip of paper, and so I don't necessarily need to color in anything right there, but I can kind of see if I need a little bit more of a heart or something in those different areas. Just kind of see where it still needs a little something. So I think I'll put another leaf right there, and maybe another little heart right here. And I think that is good. So then we can go ahead and start coloring. Jen was so great to share how she colored in her card, and she used a white gel pen for the hearts, and then she used a gold yellow blend and the orange blend markers to color in the leaves. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and it turns out so good. Like, I couldn't believe how bright and vibrant the white is. And I'm just going to go over that, leaving the outline so you can see that heart. And I'm going to keep this strip of paper handy because I don't need to color in everything. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring all the hearts. Doesn't that look so cool? I'm like so excited it turned out, and I love that Jessica asked us to borrow something or an idea from someone else. And so thank you, Jen, for that amazing idea. So now we're going to color in the leaves with our Spectrum Noir markers. Here is the gold blend, and I'm going to just, again, let's put this over because we don't want to color more than we need to. And I'll just randomly go through and color the different leaves with the orange and then also this yellow. I'm going to back this onto Espresso Cardstock and then add it to my card base. So I'll do the shimmer term in just a second. And the card base that Jessica included. And I do want to let you know on the white gel pen, it will smear, so give it a minute to dry. I did get a little bit on my hand. I just give it a little bit, couple minutes to dry, and you'll have that really fun, bright white look. All right, so now I have that little piece of shimmer just peeking out from underneath. There's a little rogue piece right there. Okay. And now we can add our sentiment. And I went through the die cuts that, or the thin cuts that Jessica sent, and I think I'm going to use this one right here. In the instruction book they have circles, but I think this is really fun with the stitch marks. So I'm going to take another stamp out of that Thanks a Bunch stamp set. Again, that is Close to My Heart stamp of the month, and it's only available in November. So I'm going to count that as one of my new. So here is the thanks. It's a great stamp set. It has all kinds of different thank you, gratitude type sentiments, and then also the fun heart and leaves and different little shapes on there. And I want to make sure that this is nice and juicy, and I'm going to stamp that right in the center. Cross our fingers that it comes out good. Perfect. So that desert rose, that's for you, Jessica. She's been using desert rose in her videos a lot lately, so that's a nod to you, bringing in that desert rose. And I feel like this little sentiment needs a little bit more. So I actually have this kind of a almost like a grid type of look of an image in the stamp set, and I need to bring something blue. So I grabbed Mist, and I hope that is blue enough for everybody. I hope so. And let me show you what this stamp looks like. So it looks like that. So I don't want it to be that bright, obviously. So I'm going to stamp it off, and then I'm going to stamp it on to my image. So it just adds a fun little extra to my sentiment. So there is my blue. So I've done my old for random stamping. My new is the idea book, which is right here. Ta-da! And the November stamp of the month. My borrowed is my idea to color in the images with white on Kraft Paper from Jen Rubio, and my blue is the mist. So hopefully I got all of the things that I needed. Oh, okay, so now we can add our sentiment, and I'm going to just use some 3D foam, and I believe this is the stitched brackets thin cut, if I remember right. Jessica, correct me if I'm wrong. And of course, let's add a little more bling. They had this great idea in the idea book to add a little bit of gold embellishing thread. It's not a product that we carry anymore, but I had some in my stash. And then also they have these dots that they put on their example. So I'm just going off of that. That's why I love Close My Heart's idea book. If you're not quite sure how to accent your project, you can just look through there and get so many fun ideas. So I'm going to just take some thread, and I usually just wrap this around my fingers a couple times, and then I'm going to take off this 3D foam, and I'm going to attach this thread right to the foam. So let's go ahead and wrap that around, and then we can kind of play with it a little bit, see where we want it. And now we can put it on our project. Okay, so a little fun little added gold right there. Okay, and then I felt like we needed some dots, so I grabbed my most favorite right now is the Silver Bells dots. It has these white ones, some toffee, and also some silver, and they are so pretty and sparkly, and I thought they would go perfect with this card. And so I'm going to add some of those dots right here, just a couple right there off to the right hand side, and I think this card is done. So make sure you go and check out the other ladies' videos. I will put a playlist at the end of this video and also the links to their channels in the description. And we all got the same envelope, so it's going to be fun to see what their interpretation of the old, new, borrowed, and blue is. So go check out their channels. I will put a list of all the products that I use for this project in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.